In a world where the norm is becoming to make men weak, a few masculine traits that many view as toxic are becoming highly attractive. While girls might tell you they don't like these traits, secretly, it's something they all desire. You see, toxic masculinity is an undefined term thrown around by many people. But there's something about that unapologetic magnetic pull that often seems to make women become obsessed with you, even though they might not like it. So, without wasting your time, let me show you 8 of the most powerful masculinity traits many women view as toxic, but secretly crave in their man. The last one might surprise you. Number 1. Acting standoffish and stoic. You see, women love solving puzzles, and if you can remain cool while showing a calm demeanor, it will let you stand out from every other man. A man who seems unfazed and often does not react to things around them might seem like an enigma to women. If you can resist the urge to laugh at senseless jokes and only respond to things that truly fascinate you, she'll continue to try to figure out a way to make you reactive. This builds the obsession of how to figure you out. You might find her chasing you instead of you having to follow her. A little mystery will draw more attention to you, which makes you seem like a challenge, and women certainly love taking on a challenge. Number 2. Being unavailable. One thing women despise is having someone more interested in her than she is in him. However, by becoming slightly unavailable, you reignite this challenge, forcing her to go above and beyond to get some of your attention. She'll see this as a challenge and will put in more effort to get what she wants. When she realizes she doesn't have what she wants, she might even become obsessive in an attempt to make you more available. You don't need to ignore her for days on end, but taking your time and only responding when you find the time could get her wondering why you're not like other guys. Number 3. Being overly passionate. Here's the thing, we all love passion, but being too passionate with someone you like could have a negative outcome, especially when you're intense and smothering. However, passion is one of the most enticing personality traits, especially when it's about something else, like your career, goals, or even a hobby you've taken up. This shows her that you're dedicated and have focus, while exhibiting emotional depth. She'll begin to think that if you're so passionate about your hobbies and goals, it must mean you're heavily passionate about the relationship. This could spur her to chase you and try to break your focus from your hobbies and goals to her. Number 4. Being difficult. Women are usually the people who have to say no to men, but when the tables are turned, they're often struck with a bit of shock. You see, most men are extremely eager to please, and they'll go out of their way, compromising their own moral values in an attempt to please a woman. This means that she's often the one who has to constantly say no. However, being difficult turns the tables and shows that you're genuine and don't need to constantly please her. Not only does this show you have some integrity and courage to stand your ground, but it shows you're not easy to persuade by her beauty and lust. This will create a bit of challenge for her, especially when you can comfortably say no without going back on your decisions. Being difficult adds another layer of mystery, and it makes you unpredictable. In fact, one will not know what your response is going to be when she asks you something. Number 5. Being aggressive. This one might seem a bit toxic, but hear me out. Being aggressive, especially when chasing your goals and ambitions, gives you some form of assertiveness. This helps you make decisions and allows you to be the one in control, leading the interaction and determining where things go. However, this can also be applied to your social life and relationships. You see, many men are too passive, waiting for the woman to make all the decisions for them and allowing her to dictate the way things go. But being assertive gives you an edge of confidence that will make people listen. You see, the key is to strike the perfect balance between being assertive and having some passive responses. While this relationship preference might vary from person to person, every woman wants a man who can take the lead and someone willing to go after his goals. Number 6. Be unapologetically authentic. Why do women constantly fixate on the bad boy? It's not because they're rude or aggressive, but because they stand true to what they believe in. They are not apologetic for who they are. This bad boy might have a few negative quirks, but even though many people might not like them, they often get the respect of others and desire from women. You see, it's not about being something fake, not caring, or dismissing the people around you. It's about being authentic and confident in yourself and your beliefs. Not constantly seeking the approval of others or constantly telling them what they want to hear might ruffle some feathers, but you will be seen as unique. Since the world is filled with trends and people following the latest things on social media for likes, you'll be remembered for being the person no one else is trying to be. Keep in mind that people often remember genuine people, but they can easily forget those who try to constantly please and fit into the boxes that society creates for them. And finally, don't ever apologize for being yourself. It's what makes you unique and stand out. Number 7. Be strong-minded. Since most people will try to fit into boxes and are willing to compromise their own beliefs for fear of rejection, having a strong mind and sticking to your beliefs is commendable. You see, everyone respects someone assertive and can stand their ground. However, there's always a balance you need to strike, and having an open mind can help you create a more memorable experience for the other person. You should always be willing to listen and try to see things from the other's point of view. Perhaps you can learn something new or even find flaws in some of your strong opinions. This is what separates someone who's trying too hard from the authentic person willing to learn and constantly improve. However, when you disagree with something someone else is saying, you should be willing to speak your mind if you can't just ignore it. This is where your assertiveness will be attractive. Here's a tip. If you don't agree with others, don't try to force your opinion onto them. If your opinion isn't asked, you don't need to give it. However, if you've been asked to share your opinion, be honest and true to yourself, no matter what others might think. Number 8. Become independent. Finally, nothing is more attractive than someone who does not need others. A man who can go through life and rely on himself without having to wait for others to dictate his path will be someone who can do whatever he feels like doing. If you're in a relationship, you should have some interests outside the relationship. Many men put all their effort and focus into the relationship, only to be let down when she doesn't reciprocate. However, those with interests outside the relationship have something else to focus on. It's not about disregarding your relationship, but rather striking a balance between having shared and individual passions. This will keep the relationship fresh and will always give you things to talk about that don't constantly focus on the relationship itself. If you found value in today's video, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips about attraction, masculinity, and personal development.